Greetings YouTube, Fuzzfinger here, welcome back to our Excalibur II perfect game walkthrough here in Final Fantasy IX. And from this point on, I think we're going to have a bit of a change of plan. And the reason for that is because of one particular item, the Robe of Lords. Now that we're into Disc 3 and heavily into Disc 3, we're really at the point where we're going to have to fully commit to the stat path that we want to take. Because there's no way to absolutely max out everybody's stats in this game, there's just no way of doing that without, hacking the game files or whatever. We have to make a choice as to which stat path we want to follow. And Thomas's guide over at GameFaqs, link in description, gives multiple stat paths that you can take, so you can max out certain stats instead of others, depending on what you want to go for. And up until this point, I've been following the combined stats. And the reason for that is it gives you probably the best overall maximum amount of stats that you can get for all 8 of your playable characters. But now we've hit a problem, and the problem was I could not get the Robe of Lords. I mentioned this a couple of videos ago, and I was hoping then it wasn't going to have a big impact on the rest of the game, but unfortunately it is about to. So that's why I'm going to have to make some changes. The Robe of Lords was just basically virtually impossible for me to get. After 4 hours of playing Chocobo Hot and Cold, I didn't get one game out of the required 10 with 1,000 points. In fact, I think 300 points was the most I was able to get after 4 hours of playing Chocobo Hot and Cold at the Air Garden. I couldn't do it. You'd never get another video out, so I decided to call that one quits and, not get the Robe of Lords. Now, I did get the other chocographs and that were required as part of the combined stats path, but that one item just seemed too much of a slog and too much out of my reach. Now, the problem with that is that when following the combined stats path, at this particular point in the adventure, we are required on the combined stats to level up Quina to level 45. However, Quina would require the Robe of Lords equipped when we do those 45 levels, because it gives 1 to virtually every stat point as you level up. So speed, magic, spirit and strength all get a point as you level. Now without the Robe of Lords, Quina would be gaining 45 levels without getting 1 in all 4 of those stats. Now we could equip with something else, such as the Power Vest, for example, where she'd get 2 strength. So she'd have slightly higher strength than if she had the Robe of Lords equipped. But in that case, you would also be suffering in 3 of the other stats. So I came to the conclusion that no matter what we did, we wouldn't be getting an optimal amount of stats with Quina by levelling Quina to 45 with any other item at this point other than the Robe of Lords, which we don't have. So then my next thought was, well, maybe it's not too late to switch which stat path we're going down. And indeed, this is what I've thought about, and from what I can tell, I don't think it is. Although we are at the point really where we should have committed to the stat path, it's not really too late to change, because even though some of our abilities would be different, with the PS4's battle assist mode and whatnot, that shouldn't be a big problem. So what I'm thinking of doing, or what we're going to do in fact, and we'll see how we get on over the next few episodes, is follow the stat path of Path B of Thomas's guide. Path B is slightly similar to combined in the sense that it overall maxes the stats as much as possible, but it does so for 6 of the 8 characters. Now those 6 characters will actually end up with slightly better stats than they would if you did on the combined path, but the downside is you're only doing 6 instead of all 8. Like I said a moment ago, you cannot max the stats for all 8 characters in this game. You do have to make choices. So I'm thinking we're going to follow Path B, and that will mean that we won't have to level Quina at this point, and we won't require the Robe of Lords. It's not a necessary item to have. Now, I have already done a lot of stuff that is required for the combined path, but not for Path B, such as extra chocographs, the fact that we've even got the flying chocobo at this particular moment in time. And to be honest, I'm fine with that. That is not stuff that's going to affect our save file in a negative way by the end. Yes, we probably added more to our time than we needed to, but this isn't a speed run in the sense of what's the fastest time we can do it. It's only a speed run in the sense of we have to get to Excalibur II within the 12-hour time limit, and that we can still do. So, in terms of the actual speed, I don't think we've lost anywhere near enough time by following the combined path up until this point to be worried about changing now to path B because of the extra stuff that we've collected up until now. So to summarise, because I know it's confusing, it's always confusing when you're talking about stat maxing in this game, unfortunately. From this point on, with a Thomas's guide, I'm going to be following path B of the stat maxing guide, okay? So that's path B, not combined. That means that even though my initial plan was to go and level Queen and out with the Grand Dragons level 45, we're not going to do that because we don't do that with path B. Now, the only downside to this is the possibility of having to improvise with certain encounters where we haven't learned specific abilities that we would have learned had we followed path B from the start of Disc 3. But I think we can get through those encounters, as I say, with a little bit of improvisation. At least I hope we can, that's the plan at the moment. So for now, for today, instead of going to level Queener, we're just going to crack straight on ahead with the main section of the guide, which will involve going to the Wind Shrine and then to the Earth Shrine for a boss fight. So let's get started, shall we, with our slightly strange combined with Path B stat growth walkthrough of the Excalibur II guide. And overall, we should end up with a Path B set of stats, but with a few of the optional things from combined that we would normally do after Excalibur II, we've got those done first. But overall, the save file should be preserved as we'd expect. Let's get on with it. Just reloading then, because I don't want 20 minutes of waffle affecting my time. And we're just going to sort the equipment out for Zidane and Phoebe. No, sorry, not Phoebe, Queener, since we're not going for the combined walkthrough now. We need to make sure we've got a standard set of equipment that the guide wants us to have. And just do what I'm doing. Orichalcum, Green Barret, Bone Wrist, Power Vest, and Power Belt. There it is. Come on. Plumbing controller didn't work. Queener, Silver Fork, Bandana, Enkai Armlet, and Yellow Scarf. There we go. And I'm just going to sort out our abilities very briefly. Hope you get this done. Make sure Zidane's in the front row, as he is in my case. Distract, MP attack. We're going to want Devil Killer, so we'll just take something else off ability up for now, I guess. And we're going to want Insomniac. And then Queener is just going to want Insomniac and Millionaire. And then we're going to make our way over to the Wind Shrine. Let's just speed up if we can. There we go. So we're going to be heading over here now. Slow down a sec so I don't go past the location. Wouldn't be a nice idea. And I hope we can get this boss quite quickly. We do have to get through some cutscenes first. Just make sure you hit the exclamations when it pops up, otherwise you get yourself in trouble. That's why I didn't go onto speed mode at that particular moment, but now we can. In fact, you might have to do something here as well, I can't remember. No, we don't. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I think we can speed up now. There's our next boss, the Earth Guardian. And the plan is to keep it asleep as much as possible with night. And because we've got Insomniac, we should be immune to our own sleep. Well, we will be. No shud about it. So this can go wrong, especially if the ATB isn't on our side, but that's what battle assist is for. So let's just toggle that on and off a moment. And we're going to start with a standard attack and then a blue magic knight. As quickly as we can. Oh, no, not eight. Blue magic. 4,200 points of damage isn't a lot. We need to do about 18,000 points of damage to this thing in 3 attacks. So if the next attack only does the same amount, then I'm going to have to turn on max damage for the 3rd attack, I think. So there we go. Send it to sleep, and we need to steal 3 things. So let's try again. Oh, come on. This is where you might have to reset if you don't get what you need. Try again. Goodness me. There's 2 things we have to steal from this thing, you see. A rubber suit and something else. Oh boy, we need to cast a new knight. Yeah, that's why you need good steals. Let's try that again. Here we go again then with the Earth Guardian. And hopefully we'll have a little bit more luck with the stealing. That success chance really got in our way on the last attempt. 4,000 damage isn't a lot, really. This guy has 20,700 health. So we need to be doing about, on average, 6k damage with every hit. Which is possible with a level 1 sedan. But as you can see, it's not necessarily the most common form of damage. So I'll see how much we do with the 2nd attack, and then we'll use max damage. Oh, there's the rubber suit for the 3rd attack if need be. Okay, so we've got the rubber suit. That's good. Now we need to try and steal again. There we go, Avenger. Yep, brilliant. So they're the 2 items we need. Wow, that was lucky. So we need to attack him twice more now. Just get ready with that knight. Now, that's the kind of damage that we're after. But because that first bit of damage was too low, we're going to hit him for 9999 next. Okay, so we'll set that up now. Turn it on and attack. Oh, I did not expect that to miss. Ah. Well, at least he's not doing an AoE attack, which he can do. He's killed Queena though. Is this going to be possible now? With him not being asleep. We need to get Queena to eat this guy, you see. Finish off the battle. I don't know if it's going to be possible now, because I did not expect that. The knight to miss, I mean. Interesting. Well, Queena's back up. Let's just go for it, maybe, because... oh, no, it missed. Brilliant. Oh, fantastic. We've got a chance at this, then. Yes, I think we've got a chance. As long as we've got the damage right, and we did. Fantastic. Brilliant stuff. Oh, I'm happy now. I did not honestly expect to be able to do that. So, obviously, I'm very happy with how that turned out. A little bit of improvisation required to get through that fight in one piece. That stupid knight missing was unexpected. I did that fight a couple of times in practice and never had knight miss. So when it did there and then, I thought it was all over. Okay, so we've got some more cutscenes here. And we're going to be adding some people into the party in a moment. Okay, we're going to add Steiner, good old Steiner, and Dagger. Okay, and now we're going to apparently just turn over to the right here slightly. Okay, and fly over to the grass, which is a good opportunity to land and save. What is going on? Oh, there we go. That was a weird animation of landing, wasn't it? Alright guys, well that's going to bring us to the end of this video and to this section, D3-10. So we're now following Path B, and hopefully we'll have fun doing so. So thanks for stopping by today, folks. Don't forget to drop a like if you've enjoyed watching, and be subscribed to the FuzzfingerGaming YouTube channel for more in the future. Goodbye.